Hello again. This is the Wizard, and welcome back to the greatest era of the Pokemon TCG. Today, I am going to show you guys a couple of fun time capsules, if you will. We're going to look at some of the early artwork of Pokemon and the Pokemon TCG, especially. Now, I have always been smitten by the early artwork and the early style that Ken Sugimori and some of the others took on early on. And this is a website that I found that has these early search and find Pokemon like comic books, I guess. And I will link this in the top comment so that way you can search these as well. And I remember seeing these books. I don't remember ever owning one like this, although I own plenty of other Pokemon books and comic books and stuff. But the way that these watercolor artwork look is they're not good, but I love them anyway. And I know that some people that are my age in their mid to late 30s probably remember this art style very fondly, and it's because it wasn't perfect, but it was the perfect time for Pokemon to resonate with us. And it's more about the memory of this time period in our lives and the more simplistic life that we used to live, which I'm not complaining about having all the updated artwork and stuff. The new artwork, of course, looks really nice, but there's just something about this imperfect, kind of goofy, and the Pokemon don't always look the exact way that they should. You know, they're not 3D models in these pictures. These are hand-drawn. A lot of care and time was taken to put all this kind of stuff together, and somebody actually had to take their time to draw each one of these little edges on Arcanine's hair over here. And somebody, probably the same person, of course, had to do the watercolor shading to make it look like there's shadows here and stuff. And that just is lost in the 3D animated versions of their stock artwork today. So this is a really cool page. Somebody has taken the scans of all the existing Let's Find Pokemon books and put them into this one website, and then you can actually go through each of these and search them. And they've got, of course, all the pictures over on the side of the Pokemon you're supposed to be looking for. And there's a way to take this little thing here in the middle, and you can actually, this is interactive is what I'm trying to say. So you can click on each of these and it'll track your progress and stuff. So if you want to pretend you're a kid, or you have kids of your own that you want to give the opportunity to do something like this with them, you could have them sit on your lap and take control of the mouse and keyboard and do this kind of together as a little father-son, father-daughter, mother-son, mother-daughter kind of activity. Because I don't know that you'd be able to find these books, at least not all of them together, for a reasonable price. You know, anything like this on eBay is going to be jacked up in price just because it's Pokemon and it's from early on in that life cycle. So this is a good way to go back and relive some of the glory days of Pokemon. So that's this one. Then we also have the idea of being able to use just the stock Ken Sugimori artwork. So I went through Bulbapedia and basically just took every single first and second generation Pokemon and put them onto my computer because I really like the way that these look. I just mentioned that a moment ago, and all of these just look so nice. They don't look nice. They look nostalgic, which is nice in my opinion. So I remember seeing this picture in a bunch of promotional stuff, and it just completely captivating me. The shading, the light sources up here to Bulbasaur's top left, and somebody took so much time and care and effort to make this picture come to life. And in my opinion, this image, this picture, could be three-dimensional and real, whereas the newer stuff, it just looks so flat, even though it's three-dimensional, which I know makes no sense, but that's the only way that I can think to describe this. So at some point, I am going to use these as our card images, and I'm gonna take something like this, put it over a goofy looking background, and then that's gonna be the card image, because that's actually how they did it back in the first generation. They would just take a stock photo, make it blurry, spin, give it an effect, and then put the stock artwork over the top of it, which did not make for a good looking Pokemon card. But in my opinion, the Pokemon TCG never looked better. But to make it look even worse, and by that of course I mean even better, where are they? Are they here? No. Although these are the Pokemon Shuffle sprites, so that's the mobile game. It's a Match 3, which I played back when I was in college when I believe this came out. I've been using these as the evolution icons up in the top corner. So if you've been following along with my channel for any period of time, you'll have noticed that these are what they look like. So it's just the face or the head of the Pokemon instead of the whole thing. But give me just a second so I can find the other project that I'm going to talk about. So hold on a sec, I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I found them. So the Generation 1 and Generation 2 sprite work, again, it doesn't look great, but compared to a lot of the newer stuff, the 3D rendering of them, they just lost so much depth and so much personality. So at some point, I'm also going to, we'll take Venusaur here for a second. And we will, excuse me, turn the card artwork frame into a battle scene. So if you remember, this would have been the battle sprite. So your Pokemon would be kind of down here on the lower left corner of the Game Boy screen, and then you're battling against this Venusaur. And that was one thing that I always wanted the TCG to feel like, even though the TCG was a completely different thing. But in my mind, I would have been maybe 8 or 9 at the time. In my mind, I wanted there to be continuity between the Game Boy game and the card game and the TV show. And the fact that they were all different made it that much more exciting, that there was the possibility for these things to cross over eventually. So having a card that looked like a Game Boy screen was like a dream of mine. So now I'm working on making that dream actually come true. So I hope that you find that to be as exciting as I do. So there's that. But then also, I thought, well, if we're going to go that route, why not go full blast and then make these the evolution icons? So not the shuffle icons that have just the characters' faces on them, but now these are the menu sprites. So when you'd open up your Game Boy menu to check on your Pokemon, this is what you would see instead of what the Pokemon actually look like. And again, this just has so much character to it. Yeah, these look terrible. They're small, they're pixelated, but it just carries so much nostalgic charm with them. So these are going to be the little evolution boxes, and it's fun to go back and think about the simpler time in life and like, what is this? What is this blob? I mean, I know that it's a Ditto, but Ditto actually looks less detailed than this thing does, because this thing actually has what looks like texture to it here. It doesn't have a mouth, but this little menu icon blob, it just carries so much life and depth and personality, in my opinion. So this is going to be one of the next projects that I work on. It's going to be called the 8-bit, and I am interested in hearing what you guys think of this as an idea, how you think I should tackle the TCG element of it? Should I make the cards less complicated because the 8-bit era was less complicated? Should I make it glitchy and broken like the first generation games were? Have glitch cards where just absolutely crazy and bonkers things happen? I realized that would not be competitive at all, but I don't know if I care about it being competitive at all. The idea of playing a TCG, especially with little kids, which I've got 3 little kids, so the idea of making it competitive with them is less interesting to me than making it fun and silly and a good time, an opportunity to make memories with them. So let me know what you think. If you enjoy what I've been doing here, making custom Pokemon formats and custom cards, follow along, subscribe, like the video, and if you know somebody that enjoys this kind of stuff, share the video with them and maybe they can come along with us. So until next time, we'll see you.